Hello, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. You are on the Heart of Success show, and I'm your host, Larisa Vakulina. I go live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time zone. And here on this show, I just share and explain and discuss different things about how can we create success in all areas of our human experience. How can we actually stop glossing over of something that is external to us, something that is somebody's idea? How can we start to build our own inner spiritual muscle that can actually guide us and help us to start to create our own life with all the guidance, with all the direction that is coming from inside of us, inside of our own inner brilliance, from our all integrated place of our creative impulses, rather than following someone else's direction or someone else's ideas or someone else's inventions. So what I am observing is that, of course, a lot of people are living lives of somebody else. It's like I used to be there. I was running business, believing that this is something that I am doing best, and this is something that I need to do to actually live my life and supply and support. But eventually, I start to realize that this is really not my goals. These goals have been someone else's goals that's been having some excitement about it. But with time, I realized that this is weren't my goals. And how did I actually go about it? Because of course we're all afraid to just drop everything that we're doing in our life. We need to start slowly. We need to start to actually discover our spiritual essence. What does that mean, spiritual essence? Well, what I'm noticing and noticed when I actually went on my spiritual journey, that we, for some reason, cutting ourselves off, or we put that wall again, a wall of that brilliant spiritual part of us. We're walling off from our boundary, and it seems like we're looking at that spiritual brilliance and divine essence of who we are from the inside into, and looking and seeing it as it is beyond the boundary that we actually put ourselves to protect ourselves, right? So we wall off the best, most powerful part of who we are, and we try to achieve our goals. We try to live and build our life that we dream of, that we love to live. But it is really not possible, because the prerequisite of living the dream life, of creating life that you love to live, is actually to gather and connect and discover your spiritual essence, which is always within you, always connected to you, always ready and there for you to be utilized through your journey, to be used as a navigation tool, and actually protection against falling back into that boundaries of separating yourself from your spiritual essence, right? So when I look back in my own life, I have been I have been going through a hardship of actually even recognizing that we have this part of ourselves that is so powerful, that is there all the time, and that is our divine essence, that is waiting for you to hear that call. And I was not aware of that. I was just having the syndrome of a good girl, or the syndrome of strong woman, as we all going through the indoctrination of our society, how women needs to be strong, how they need to do what men can actually doing, and even better. And to this day, women are trying to prove themselves, and they just go and they fully throwing themselves into the achieving more than men can achieve professionally, thinking that finally they can actually have the equality with men. Well, this is all the illusionary goals, because these goals are actually destroying us. These goals creating a lot of grave reality for us, because we stopped feeling ourselves. We stopped even knowing ourselves in terms of who we are, what we're doing. We just running, and we seeing that carrot in the front of us in terms of accumulating wealth, and achieving more, and having all of the attributes of the rich life. And we completely ignoring that part of ourselves that is patiently waiting until we start to notice that. Well, in order for us to notice this, there's a number of multidimensional levels of who we are. We need to start to recognize. We need to start to practice and develop the moments in our life where we start to transform our automatically living and running our life on that almost autopilot. We need to start to make that move towards building the spiritual muscle, towards discovering within yourself your spiritual essence. That essence belongs to everyone. We all have this unique, brilliant essence that you are. It's only because when we go through our human experience, out of the pain and inability to cope with emotional pain, we create misunderstanding and misconception about ourselves and about life. And these misconceptions then start to really drive our life towards the direction where we completely forgetting about our spiritual essence. And a lot of people don't even know they have it. Well, this is really sad, because if we're not connecting, if we're not discovering that spiritual essence, that brilliance, divine creator that you are, you constantly gonna to live your life in a crippled way. Your life, your creation is gonna be distorted, incomplete, and most of the time not even able to be manifested in your life. So when I was struggling with my own life, in terms of when I was running very successful business, but I was going deeper and deeper into the pit of the darkness of depression, anxiety, panic attacks, on without understanding why this external world of the glamour and money, and wherever you have the achievements, the awards, why this external world is not really bringing me in a fulfillment. That was I was constantly feeling empty. Well, it is because I was living and running business, and I was living my life not from the place of the spiritual essence. I was just living my life from that very shallow level of the logical mind, and from the programming that I received in my childhood, in my teenagers age, in my studies, and using only our intellect and trying to live the life we love is not really possible, because you're always going to be having some sort of deficit or limitation, because you're not utilizing your highest faculty, your highest navigation system, your highest life task you come here to actually fulfill, because you live in something that you sometimes not even understanding. You're feeling that this is not you, this is not your goals, this is not your dreams. Why you keep living that? So it's time to start to really ask yourself questions, and some of them could be really uncomfortable. For example, how many people can just recognize and then take a step in changing it? If people are stagnating and still going to their job, that's not their dream job, but they still going, and they waking every morning, and they don't have any excitement about to be committed to this job, they still doing it. Well, how sad is this? Because that really is not living, it's half living and half dying, because the stagnation and stuckness into this space of non supportive, not life supporting decision of being in that state where you're not even liking what you're doing. Well, then have the courage to start to ask yourself a questions. Is the job that I'm doing is my dream job? Is the way I'm doing it, the way I'm living my life, is bringing me the highest state of being fulfilled and happy and joyful? If the answers are no, well, then you need to start to take steps to change towards recognizing, towards discovering, recognizing, and start to really integrate spiritual essence into your life, into your decisions, into what you're doing in your life and how you do it. So for example, if there is a method or the tips to help you to discover your spiritual essence, you need to start to look at physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual dimensions of yourself, and how all of these dimensions are not functioning in alignment with that spiritual essence, with that task, with this dream of yours. Well, you need to start, number one, probably assist yourself in your physical health, right? If you don't have enough sleep, if you can't sleep, if you're eating not nutritional food, if you don't have enough rest, if you don't exercise enough to have your physical body functioning at the highest potential, well, then start to make these little changes into your what you're eating, how you're resting, what you're doing. I also suggest that maybe you minimize or limit your time you spend on the social media and all other informational means that takes huge amount of time from your life. So when you actually looking at your mental thought process, there's also a very important step to recognize and realize that sometimes the thought pattern that you have is actually taking you much further from discovering your brilliance, from discovering your spiritual gift, right? Well, then maybe you need to start to shift your mind towards changing your thought process, your psychonoetic forms that are actually staying on a way for you to start to connect to your most powerful self. Well, I find maybe you even, have this little affirmation in the morning. If you don't have any way of shifting your mind, you can just say they imagine act, and they imagine act. So you need to start to have that goal of connecting to your spiritual self and build that muscle through your imagination, through what you want to achieve in your dream, right? And then you need to take that little steps. You need to act, right? So because when we are also just when we just simply dreaming, when we actually allow ourselves to get into that land of fantasy, we don't really serve ourselves greatly, because again, we spending a lot of time on just kind of useless and wasteful fantasizing, unrealizable goals. It needs to be a goal that you feel within your soul, your heart, and and basically you need to start to imagine that goal, that task, and that needs to make you so good. You need to imagine that as if you already have achieved these goals and tasks, and you feel really, really good. There's another way of deciding, declaring, and doing. So you need to do a little, maybe your a goal meeting little cards that can remind you to shift your mind from that stagnated place of accepting your lot in life and thinking that nothing can change, and your dreams just gonna be sitting your dreams without realizing them. It's not true. You need to make that conscious choice to start to make this little simple steps, right? On the level of your spiritual practice, right? Because most of us that don't realize that we have that spiritual essence, they believe in that the spirituality is somewhere externally far away from them, and the attributes of spirituality is just simply, having your essence, maybe your candles, or whatever. But also it is a tangible decision to actually give yourself some space and time so that you can be still, because that stillness and that not doing anything is really confronting for people who are actually not knowing they have this spiritual essence that needs to have some time and space to discover. And if you don't provide that time and space in your life, then how do you actually gonna to feel that place within yourself? You need to start to make this maybe 5 or 10 minutes a day, right? So the very, very powerful spiritual practice of setting up daily intention is really, really important. And that will slowly start to transform your days from being in a space of just ignorance, from the space of boredom, from the space of just wishing your day go quicker so that you can go home, into that much more meaningful and purposeful creation every day. Even you still going and doing your work that you're not really loving, or you feel that this is not your dream work, you still can already make little steps that can help you to start to transform that inner space of connecting yourself to your dream, of practicing to hear and feel that space that it exists. And when you start to feel that space that exists within you, that spiritual self, that most powerful faculty that you have, that guidance that sits within you and constantly trying to guide you, but because you're making yourself so busy, you're making yourself so occupied with everything that is outside of you. You are, embracing yourself with all this noise of the informational terror, and you are spending time with your friends, possibly, or maybe with someone, with your family, to blame and judge, and just feel that you're hopeless. Instead of that, can you make the shift towards more useful steps that can assist you greatly, even if it's a very, very small step of waking up and you are still in bed, just within yourself? Put intention for a day. For example, today, I would like to hear myself more. Today, I would like to feel myself more, what it is within me, what it tells me to do, or what it tells me to change something. If you're not putting intention to actually do that, your day is going to be as another day as the previous one and the day that was a year ago. So this is really, really important. So I really invite you to start to pay attention to these things. If you not gonna to learn how to connect with the spiritual essence of your brilliance, you're gonna to live your life incomplete. You're not able to live your life fully, because the dimension of your true self, who you really are, a spiritual, powerful creator, is actually switched off and throwing away from yourself beyond the boundary that you put for you not to recognize this spiritual part of yourself. Well, your life is not going to be as fulfilled and happy and joyful as if you will start to take these little steps and start to progress and journey deeper and deeper and deeper into this unlimited place of your brilliance, unlimited place of your power, an unlimited place of your creative impulse that can change everything. So I thank you so much for being here with me. If you haven't catch up my life, you can go and do reply on many platforms. Please connect to my YouTube channel, The Heart of Success Show. There's many Facebook platforms like my Facebook personal profile, and also Facebook groups that are holding all my episodes. And also, if you would like to maybe go and visit my website, which is here on the screen, to know more about what I'm doing, how I'm helping people to connect to their spiritual essence and what it means and how it changes people's life. Thank you so much. And I would like to say thank you again, and I'll see you next week.